The government of the Kingdom of Sweden is the national cabinet and the supreme executive authority in Sweden. The short form name Regeringen is used both in the fundamental laws of the realm and in the vernacular, while the long form is only used in international treaties. The government operates as a collegial body with collective responsibility and consists of the Prime Minister, appointed and dismissed by the Speaker of the Riksdag, and other cabinet ministers, appointed and dismissed at the sole discretion of the Prime Minister. The government is responsible for its actions to the Riksdag. Following the adoption of the 1974 Instrument of Government on 1 January 1975, the government in its present constitutional form was constituted and, in consequence thereof, the Swedish monarch is no longer vested any nominal executive powers at all with respect to the governance of the realm, but continues to serve as a strictly ceremonial head of state. Role and scope. Instrument of Government. Chapter 12. Article 1. The Instrument of Government, one of the fundamental laws of the realm, sets out the main responsibilities and duties of the government, and how it relates to other organs of the state. Instrument of Government. Chapter 12. Article 1. Most state administrative authorities, as opposed to local authorities, sorts under the government, including the armed forces, Coast Guard, Customs Service and the Swedish police, while the judiciary technically sort under the government in the fiscal sense. Chapter 11 of the Instrument of Government provides safeguards to ensure its independence. In a unique feature of the Swedish constitutional system, individual cabinet ministers do not bear any individual ministerial responsibility for the performance of the agencies within the portfolio, as the Director Generals and other heads of government agencies reports directly to the government as a whole, and individual ministers are prohibited to interfere ter ministerstyre in matters that are to be handled by the individual agencies, unless otherwise specifically provided for in law. High contracting party. The government of Sweden is the high contracting party when entering treaties with foreign sovereign states and international organizations, as pertain to one of the Instrument of Government. In most other parliamentary systems this formal function is usually vested in the head of state but exercised by ministers in such name. Promulgation. Chapter 6. Article 7 prescribes that laws and ordinances are promulgated by the government, and are subsequently published in the Swedish Code of Statutes. Formation and dismissal. Following a general election, Speaker of the Riksdag begins to hold talks with the leaders of the parties with representation in the Riksdag. The Speaker then nominates a candidate for Prime Minister. The nomination is then put to a vote in the chamber. Unless an absolute majority of the members votes no, the nomination is confirmed, otherwise it is rejected. The Speaker must then find a new nominee. This means the Riksdag can consent to a Prime Minister without casting any yes votes. After being elected, the Prime Minister appoints the cabinet ministers and announces them to the Riksdag. The new government takes office at a special council held at the Royal Palace before the monarch, at which the Speaker of the Riksdag formally announces to the monarch that the Riksdag has elected a new Prime Minister and that the Prime Minister has chosen his cabinet ministers. The Riksdag can cast a vote of no confidence against any single cabinet minister, thus forcing a resignation. To succeed, a vote of no confidence must be supported by an absolute majority or it has failed. If a vote of no confidence is cast against the Prime Minister, this means the entire government is rejected. A losing government has 1 week to call for a general election, or else the procedure of nominating a new Prime Minister starts anew. Cabinets. present cabinet, former cabinets. Each appointment of a new Prime Minister is considered to result in a new cabinet, irrespective if the Prime Minister is reappointed or not. However, there is no automatic resignation following a defeat in a general election, so an election does not always result in a new cabinet. Government offices, previously known as the Royal Chancery. The name was changed to the Government Offices on 1 January 1975, with the current instrument of government entering into effect. The instrument of government briefly mentions in Chapter 7, Article 1 that there is a staff organization supporting the government known as the Government Offices. The present organizational charter for the Government Offices is found in the ordinance named Forordning med instruktion for Regeringskansliet. Since the issuance of the before-mentioned ordinance in 1996, all the ministries are entities within the government offices, rather than as separate organizations. Below follows a short summary of the current structure. List of government ministries and offices. Only current ministries and offices are listed below. Government offices: Prime Minister's Office, Ministry of Justice, Ministry for Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Health and Social Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education and Research, Ministry of the Environment and Energy, Ministry of Enterprise and Innovation, Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Employment. Other offices: Office for Administrative Affairs, Permanent Representation of Sweden to the EU.